Hello friends, once again welcome back with a new concept, that is basic terms in accounting. Today we shall discuss very basic terms or the very gross root terms of accounting, which will helpful to solve all the types of problems. I mean to say these accounting terms which will helpful for all the accounting parameters like financial management, financial accounting, cost accounting or management accounting. For all these accounting branches, these terms will be very helpful. So let's discuss all those terms. First one will be the entity. See, entity means the reality that has a definite individual existence. Entity means a reality. It is a truth having the definite individual existence. It has its definite individual structure or definite individual existence, or a proper individual existence in the form of a reality. It is considered as an entity. Entity is the features is it has its own individual existence, and also it is a truth or a reality. Then if you go for the business entity means specifically identifiable business like Super Bazaar, jewelry shop, ITC Limited or any type of the company. That means business entity means a specifically identifiable business. Business entity, as the name itself indicates, the individual existence should have the business activities, identifiable business activity. The business should have its own identification. That, for example, so you can take the Super Bazaar, D-Marts, jewelry shop, footwear shops, or any ITC company or software company, any industries, garments. That means what? It should have its own identification and also have the business activity. That type of the individual existence is called as the business entity. The next term is transaction. It is a very important aspect of the accounting, because in each and every accounting aspect, transaction is playing its very important role. Let's see what it means. See, accounting is an event involving some value between two or more entities. It is an event involving the value between the two or more person. For passing a transaction, there must be two or more person or two or more entity will be essential. But here something is changing between two person. That may be a good or that may be a money, may be changing between the two parties or the two person or the two entities for involvement of an event. For example, purchase of a goods, receipt of money, payment of creditors, incurring expenses. You see, all these events may be in the cash transaction or maybe in the credit transaction. For example, take the purchase of goods. But in case of the purchase of goods, see here, in case of the purchase of goods, there will be a seller and a buyer. Seller send the goods to the buyer. In return, buyer repay the money related to the value of the goods. It is considered as a one transaction. There will be two parties, two parties. One will be the sender, other will be the buyer. The exchange of the goods and money. Seller send the goods to buyer. In return, buyer send the money related to the value of the goods. This is considered as a one transaction. That's what they are telling here. An event involving something between two or more entities or two or more person. That is as a transaction. Third one is the asset. The assets are economic resources of an enterprise that can be useful expressed in monetary terms. Different types of assets are inventories, trade receivables, current investments, long-term loans, advances, fixed assets. Assets are economic resources. Assets are the economic resources of an enterprise that can be useful expressed in terms of monetary terms. Expressed in monetary terms. Assets are economic resources. Assets are nothing but the nothing but the resources which will be expressed in terms of money, which will be expressed in terms of monetary value. It is the resources of the company, valuable resources of the company, but it can be expressed in the monetary terms or monetary value, or in simply we can say that in the form of a money or in form of a cash. See, there are different types of assets are inventories or what we can say stock or trade receivables, current investments, long term loans, advances, and fixed asset. Fixed assets means land and building. These are the fixed assets. Its value will be measured in terms of money. That's why it is considered as it is expressed as the monetary terms. It is all about asset. Then next one is the liability. These are obligations or trade debts that an enterprise has to pay at some time in the future. See, these are the liabilities are nothing but an obligations or debts that can be the company sometime borrowing the some money or the monetary terms or some amount of cash borrowed from the some enterprises or from the bank, and it is agreed to pay in certain period or in the future. That obligation is considered as a liability. Liabilities are the obligations or the debt that an enterprise has to pay in some time in future. The amount should be paid in the upcoming years or in the future. That obligations or debts are considered as the liabilities of the company. For example, creditors claims on the firm's asset. Creditors claims on the firm's asset. Short-term borrowings. If the company borrowing the some amount of money from another company and agreed that it will pay for 1 year or after 2 years or after 5 years, that is considered as a short-term borrowings. Trade payable or short-term provisions. That means what? The company paying the amount which is already taken from any company, it will pay for the upcoming years or in the coming days for the future period of time. That obligation or that money is considered as the liability of the company. Next is the capital. Capital means the amount invested by the owner in the firm is known as capital. Amount invested by the owner in the firm is known as capital. It may be brought by cash or by asset or by owner for the business. Amount invested by the owner in the firm is known as capital. See, for example, capital means see, for a company having 4 partners A, B, C, D. Each one of them are investing 5 lakh rupees. Person A is investing 5 lakh, B is 5 lakh, C is 5 lakh, and partner D is also for 5 lakhs. The total of this amount is 20 lakh. 20 lakh is considered as the capital of the company. Capital means the owners of the company, they are ready to invest the amount in the company. That investment amount is considered as the capital of the company. This amount may be in the form of cash or maybe in the form of asset, or maybe the owners can bring the amount for the business. It may be in the form of cash or in the hard cash or the money, or it is in the form of asset like land, building. The owner may give the capital in the form of land, or maybe in the form of building, or maybe in the form of machinery, etc. It is also a capital for the company, and a owner ready to give the amount for his business. That is also considered as the capital for the company. This is all about the capital aspect of the accounting term. Next we shall move with sales. Sale. Okay. Sales are the total revenue from the goods or services sold or provided to the customer. Sales may be in cash or credit. See, sales are the total revenue from the goods and services sold. See, to the provided to the customers. Sales are those amount or those revenue which will be gained by selling the goods and services to the customers. When we sell the goods and services to the customers in the market, what we get the amount in return of selling the goods and services. That amount is considered, that revenue is considered as the total revenue is considered as the sale. Sometime it may be in the form of cash, or sometime it may be in the form of credit also, depending of the situation. Cash transaction and credit transactions taken place. Revenues, the next one is revenue. Revenue is also as exactly equal to sale. See here, these are the amount of the business earned by selling its product or services to its customers. It's considered as a sales revenue. See, revenue means it is also just like the sales only, but selling the goods and services to the customers. In return, what they are receiving in the form of money is considered as a revenue for the company. If the revenue is in the form of a sale, it is considered as a sales revenue. Except that there are certain other types of revenues also there. Those are commission received, interest received, dividend received, and rent received. These are the revenue, other type of the revenues, except sales revenue. Sales revenue and the other revenues are commission also, interest, dividend, rent received. These are the other types of revenues. Then profits. Profit is the excess of revenue of a period over its related expenses during the accounting year. During the accounting year is a profit. See, profit means, see here, profit is the, if revenue is more than the expenses, if revenue is more than expenses, is considered as profit. In case revenue of the company is more than its expenses, is considered as the profit of the company. Then loss. The excess of expenses of a period over its related revenue is termed as a loan, and it decreases the owner's equity. See, the quite opposite of the profit concept is the loss. Loss is the, if the expenses is more than the revenue, that is considered as a loss. Opposite of loss is profit. If revenue is more than the expenses, if revenue is more than expenses, is considered as profit of the company. Then let's move with the next term. It is discount. Discount is the deduction in the price of the goods sold. It's a very simple term. You know that discount is nothing but deduction in the price of the goods sold. See, offering deduction of the goods at agreed percent of list price at the time selling of the goods is called as the trade discount, offered by manufacturer to the wholesaler and by wholesaler to the retailer. See here, discount means discount is for example, take product A, its price is 190 rupees. Sorry, discount is the product A, its price is 100 rupees. If a shopkeeper is ready to less of 10 rupee, the original price of the goods, the price of the good is 90 rupees. 10 rupees is ready to is a discount price. The actual value of the product A is 100 rupees. The shopkeeper is ready to give at 90 rupees. The 10 rupees is the discount price of the product A. Trade discount means the product A, for example, product A is having the very least price of 90 rupees. 90 rupees is the very least price of the product A. While selling the product A by wholesaler to retailer, wholesaler is ready to give the 10% discount. 10% discount, that is 90 into 10 divided by 100, that's equal to 9 rupee. 9 rupee is the trade discount. The actual price is it is a very least price. 90 rupee is the very least price of product A. While selling the wholesaler wholesaler to the retailer, wholesaler ready to give the 10% discount, that is 90 into 10 divided by 100 is equal to 9 rupees the trade discount. Now 90 divided by 90 minus 9 is equal to 81 rupee is the price of the product A. Here trade discount is 10%. In the form of rupee, it is 9 rupees the trade discount is related to product A. Now the original price of the product is 81 rupees, that is the discount and trade discount. Then voucher. See, voucher, it is very simple. It is a documentary or an evidence in support of transaction is known as the voucher. Voucher it is nothing but it is a document. It is a written documents or the evidence, or what we can say, it is a proof related to a particular transaction, which will include the trade name or good name or price of the goods, timings, date, everything will be written on that document. The document is considered as a voucher. For example, buy the goods for cash, we get the cash memo. While buying or purchasing the goods for a cash, in return shopkeeper we will give the cash memo. Or if we buy on credit basis, we will get an invoice. If we purchase the goods on cash base, we will get the cash memo. That is considered as a document. That document is nothing but a voucher. If we buy if the same goods we are purchased on the credit base, we will get the invoices. That invoice is the documentary or the evidence, that is nothing but a voucher. When we make the payment, we get a receipt. If we pay payment to anything for a person for taking the job or anything, we get a receipt. That receipt also an evidence or the proof for that the transaction between the two parties, that is also considered as a voucher. This is all about discount, voucher, loss, profit, revenue and sales, and some more terms are there. It is the drawings. Drawings, it is the withdrawal of money of goods by the owners from the business for personal use is a drawing. Drawings are the withdrawal of money of goods or owners from the business for the personal use is known as drawings. Drawings reduces the investment of the owner. See, drawings are nothing but the company, for example, company A having its capital or capital investment is 50 lakh in cash or 50 lakh in goods. A person, owner of the company, if he withdraw the 10 lakh rupee from this capital amount, that is 50 lakh rupees, for his personal use, that is considered as the drawing. Once again I am repeating, drawing means, for example, take a company A having its capital investment is 50 lakh in cash or 50 lakh in goods. Owner of the company, if he withdrawn or taken the 10 lakh rupees from this 50 lakh rupee for his personal use, is considered as the drawing, is considered as drawings. Then stock or inventory is the measures of the something on hand goods, spares or other items in a business. Stocks it's also considered as a inventory. It is the final goods which is ready to sell. It is the final good or it is ready to sell, which will be dumped in the godown for the selling purposes, which will be reached to the hand of the customer. It is the final product of the company. That is also called as the inventory. Then final is debtors and creditors. See, the both terms I will explain once again. It will be easy to understand you people. Debtors and creditors. See, debtors or creditors, these are the persons or the entities. Debtors may be a person or a entity. In case of a debtors, for example, take company A. Company A is purchasing the goods from company B. Company A is purchasing the goods or services from the company B. In return, he should pay. In return, company A should pay the money to company B. But immediately it is not paying the money related to the goods and value of the goods and services. For the further period, it takes some time to pay the amount related to goods and services for the purchasing. It will take some time. It may be 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, 2 years. It's depend between the company A and company B. If the company A is not paying the amount till to the end of the period, for example 31st/6/2020 is an example, till to the end of the agreement, that is considered as the sundry debtors. That will be comes under the head of current asset side of the current asset, under the head sundry debtors. Once again I am repeating, if company, there is company A and company B. Company A is purchasing the goods and services from the company B. The value of the goods and services, the value or purchasing price of the goods and services should be paid by the company A. But the company A is not immediately paying that amount. It will take some time to repay the money related to goods and services. It takes some time. That may be till to the period is 31st/6/2020. Till to that period, if the company is not paying the amount, in that case the company A is considered as the sundry debtors. It comes under the current asset, comes under the asset side, under the head current assets. In the reverse case, if the company B is taken, the company B is ready to, yes, company B is taking the amount from the company A. That means company A is receiving the goods and services. In return, it should pay the amount to company B. Here the company B is the sundry creditors. It comes under the liability side of the sundry liabilities. Current liabilities comes under this. It comes under the liability side. Sundry creditors comes under the liability side, under the head of current liabilities. I am repeating here. Company A is receiving the goods and services from the company B. In that case, company A should pay the amount to company B. Here company B is the sundry creditors. It comes under the liability side of the balance sheet, under the head current liabilities. These all related to the some basic term, very important basic term related to the accounting aspect, which will helpful to solve the problem and understand all the accounting concept that are and some accounting subjects like cost accounting, financial accounting, financial management, cost management. In all these subjects, these terms will be helpful. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. Meet you in the next video.